Something's going on here.
Stand by.
Vernon,
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, folks. Good morning. This is Vernon Watson with Mr. Willie Farrell this morning on a brand new show. Good morning, Willie. We got a brand
good,
new show this morning, and we're gonna have to work out some since it's a brand new show. We're gonna probably be working out some technical detail. But good morning, Reverend Master Pastor Willie Farrell.
good morning, Vernon. How you doing?
I'm
Uh,
well. I'm well.
good, good.
Welcome to the virtual uh, show that we're going to do on the pathway to hope. Um, you there?
What's going on there?
Yeah, we'll figure it all out there. How you
hmm
doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. I'm glad that we have an opportunity to talk about where we are with the virtual town hall meeting and how we intend to use the virtual town hall to find out how we can best serve our communities.
Okay, go ahead and talk. I
Okay.
got you on this end. Okay.
Okay. We are working with CARES, which is a number of nonprofit organizations that's focused on finding out what needs that the community have, and so we are excited about that. Excuse me, 1 minute. I had a radio on, and I don't think we need it. But anyway, our focus is the underrepresented marginalized communities based upon the national status for the homeless. The issue that we are facing is that we have about 40% of the population are at or below poverty. So how do we address the needs specifically as we continue to look at what we believe is going to be a recession, a major recession in the fall of the year? When we look at that, where are the gaps? And there are gaps in services and street, and those gaps allow those people at the bottom end of the spectrum to suffer the most. So we are looking for ways to address those needs, and we come together as a community. And so through United Way and Florida Power and Light and Salvation Army, we are constantly looking for how do we best meet the needs of that section of the community. And so we want to then begin communicating. What this show is about is to really find churches and nonprofit organizations that serve their congregations who are really in need of support, and then find out what kind of support there are that is. And if anybody want to get a application of what to do, is that Salvation Army and Florida Power and Light has created what is called SA Help, and that is SAHEALP.me. And you can go online as long as you got access to an internet function. Put your information in that you want to that you need help, and it could be anything from I lost a job or um, I got my hours cut, because right now I'm finding that what most people they come say they cut my hours. I used to get 40 hours, now I get 25, now I get 20. Well, when you're faced with that, and then you got the same uh, responsibilities, you got the same rent, you got the same um, utilities. Well, if with that being the case, we can then assist in getting your rent paid and getting your water paid, because we have promised it to pay with many of the cities and municipalities. And the goal is to help people that do not go into have them go into a complete default. Then we, along with that, is we work with the Mental Health Association and other agencies to address the stress that goes into that kind of situation. I was watching this morning on Good Morning America, and one of the questions that I thought was most amazing and intriguing, I'd like to get your take on this, is is the conversation was, the question had been asked, what is it that you all are going to do with that you all seem to be rather comfortable about everything that's taking place? And one of the gentlemen, one of the men said it this way. He said, "Well, he said the truth of the matter is we've always endured this stress. We've always been behind the stress corner. And what seemed to be major setback for you is where we live every day."
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask this, Willie. I know you want my opinion, but let's start from the beginning, if
Mhm.
you will. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, what I know this a project is near and dear to you, and I just need to know from the very beginning the concept of this virtual town hall and what it's all about. Why a virtual town hall? So folk can understand where we're trying to go with this project and why it's important that we're gonna meet what is it, the second
Every
Tuesday of the
second.
month?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, first of all, give me the genesis of the concept and the idea of this project.
The genesis of the concept initially last year, I kind of reached out to you and we started to talk about this a little bit along with Real Women Radio. And our focus at the time was to work through the NAACP and find out how we could best meet the needs and serve the community. And so we created a QR code, and that QR code was there for anybody, anywhere, to register on through that QR code and find out what services are available. What the impetus, and one of the things that has really been most intriguing to me is that we've developed what is called a 211 system, and the person dialed 211, and someone answers their telephone and give them all of the agencies that provide different kind of services. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we we are looking at that because if most of the people that we're dealing with are mothers and children under 17 years old. And if mothers with children under 17 years old, they may need lights, they may need utilities, they may need rent, they may need medicine, medical support, and they may need a mental health support, because I found about half of the women that I'm ultimately working with, they have children that has health issues. They might be autistic, spina bifida, and when you money wise, and then you get these other things that are compiling, how do you deal with it? I had a conversation with a local pastor not too long ago, and his response to me was, "Well, in as much as that I have a church, I don't have those kind of case management programs or case management." He said, "How do I get that kind of case management uh, participation along with uh, what I'm doing?" And I said, "Well, I have case managers on staff. And if you send them, we will then work with them to make sure that we can try and address their needs." That's what Pathway to Hope is. Pathway to Hope is to adopt a family, And when we say adopt a family, we don't mean just give them some bread to eat or give them something to eat, but to take on the responsibility of walking with them in the face of their challenges. And so when we started this a couple of years ago, and you and I first had this conversation, the conversation was in its infancy. And for those of us who kind of track what's going on in and outside the media and the community, we know that one thing that we face is that somewhere in the midst of all of the things that's taking place, is that there's going to have to be some payment due. In other words, there's the national debt has gone to $38 trillion. We in the middle of a political year. Everybody's kind of pushing everything, and we just don't want the people at the bottom of the echelon to get trampled on in the middle of the process. So, and it used to near and dear to my heart. It is because here in the truth of the matter is James writes it in first 1 James and 27, where he makes this statement. He said, true religion undefiled is that you minister to the widows and the orphan in that time of trouble. And the question we got to ask ourselves, are we doing that or are we waiting on somebody else to do it? And so the push for me and the conversation for me that I'm having often is how then, my brothers and sisters, do we become the catalyst that makes a change for the people at the bottom of the echelon, and bottom because I can't find another word for it, that really, really need help. And most people are not looking for a handout. I mean, not a handout, they just need a hand up. They looking for somebody to give them a hand up, help them up from where they are. I'm absolutely surprised at the resiliency of the people who are willing to work, who come down and volunteer and assist other people when they need help themselves.
Yeah. Wow. That led to the concept of giving. How you going to get the community involved with this project, Pastor?
Well, this is the first leg that you and I are on right now. The first leg that you and I are on right now is the media, to begin to talk about what's happening. And we're getting a lot of support. As a matter of fact, we printed cards and gave them to all the deputies. And so the deputies who run into people in the streets who have need for services, they can give them a card from their cruiser. And so that gives us the immediate, because we find that our missions are has synergy. In other words, because theirs is protect and serve. I know we hear all of the things that happens in the media about the problems with the police department, but the police department deal with the issue of that theirs is protect and serve. And so we're working with protecting and serving. We're working with how do we serve the community? How do we find people out there and find them meet them where they are? And that's our whole focus, meeting people where they are. And then we are getting great support from people in the community. When I mean people in the community, Sam's and Publix and Starbucks and the Emerald Coast Food Rescue, we have a number of partners that are contributing to the effort. But the ones that pleases me most, that touches me most, is the mothers and children who come and volunteer their time as well, because that means that we as a community, when we work together, we can make a difference. We can overcome a lot of things if we work together, and get over this thing that what churches are. This is my church, and if it ain't my church, then it ain't worth doing, and I'm not collaborating with any other church, and that's okay for us. And we basically leave them where they are, because we can't make anybody do anything. We can ask, we can support, we can pray for, we can work with, anybody who's willing to work with us.
Okay. Now, how do you plan to getting people involved? I know you got a code here that people can scan. Talk to me about that.
But what you have there in that QR code right there is that's a survey, and you can take a picture that QR code with your smartphone anywhere. Go in, do the survey. That tells us several things when you do the survey. That tells us where you are. That tells us what you're doing, what your needs are. That we can then dispatch services based upon the greatest need.
So what one have to do? Only thing I have to do is just scan this, put their phone up there and
Matter
scan this
of
code.
fact, if you leave
And
that QR code up there for a moment, the only thing you got to do is scan that QR code.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All they have to do is scan that QR code. Now I'm going to send you some other QR codes because we want to maximize technology because we want to reach as many people as we can. And we want to meet the needs of as many people as we can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so just take your phone, point it toward the screen, get that locked in, take a picture. And once you take that picture, it's going to lead you immediately to a survey. Answer that survey, and anybody with a phone can do this.
Mm-hmm. And everybody got cell phones.
Everybody got a cell phone. Based
You
upon
know, we have to tell them, pull it out, just like you're taking a picture. Instead of taking a picture, have it to scan it, and it go directly to the survey that they can complete right there on the phone. Am I right?
Exactly. They can complete it right there on the phone. They can be standing in line at Walmart and do the survey.
Mm-hmm.
Or because the other thing that we're looking at with the survey is that when we can tell our constituents the number of people that need help, then we can get the support that we need, the amount of help that we need.
Okay. I'm gonna reposition that code on the side of you so that they are able to get it. Okay.
Okay, you can do that. And if you got my information, they can send me and I will email it directly to anybody who needs it as an email. That they want to take it as an email and share it with their congregation, with their community.
All right. Give me a minute. I'm gonna take the email. I'm going to take the email down and put it on the screen as well. Okay. So they can
You're a
be
good
able
man,
to.
Brother Vernon. I appreciate you.
All righty.
And now in other words, I'm expecting that this is our rough draft, and so the next time that we run, we're gonna be so smooth that they're gonna think we've been doing it forever.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, give me that because when you get my age, Pastor, you have to write everything down. And so
All
I want to
right.
write it down. Give me that the address or the text or whatever you want them to contact you at, and I'll put a graphic on the screen so they can see that. Okay.
All right. They can send it to Farrow FARROW 9 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now I heard you say two things. Pharaoh W9 or just there's two W's in there, right? It's two W's.
Uh-huh.
Okay. FARROWW9.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So we'll make sure that we will put that on the screen in just a few minutes that people can email you when they get that, they can just email it to you.
Yes.
What? Okay. All righty. But continue to talk as that work here goes. This, like I said, this is work in progress.
Work in process. I'm going to give you another survey as well while you're doing it. Now, if you write this down, and that is sahelp.org. SA.me.
SA
Yeah,
help
S as in Sam Apple Help HEALP
mhm,
.me.
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 Okay. I'll create a graphics for that as well.
And what
Okay.
SAHelp.me does is that you can, if you are late on your light bill, you can go in there and you can send that I am delayed on my light bill, and one of our case managers will get in contact with you and begin to work with you to make sure that your lights don't go off. The other thing that will happen is that in short order, and we don't know exactly how soon, but you'll be able to request all services at sahelp.me.
Okay. I'm still
And
working
we
on
are
your
rapidly moving in that direction.
okay.
And as a matter of fact, this rolled out 6th of February, but by the end of February, we expect to be fully operational for being able to uh, serve people online. That they don't have to get out. They may have transportation issues. They may be an older woman older person that need to be able to take care of their grandchild can basically take care and request some service from them at their home. The other thing that we are hoping that happens in this particular place is that we know that one of the two greatest challenges that face the person with needs is childcare and transportation. But if
Uh,
you can access them from your smartphone, or from your computer at home, or your iPad or a tablet, then you don't have to get childcare. You can take care of it where you are.
and the only thing I do to use it, just call the phone number.
Oh yeah, you can. Now I'm going to give you a phone number, but text this phone number. Don't call this number because if you call
Okay.
it, you may not get an answer.
Okay.
You ready?
Not yet. Not yet. I'll be ready in just a few years. Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
All righty. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me the number.
The number is 850
Mm-hmm.
964
964
3706.
3706. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? This is text only, right?
Right.
Text only. And when I text this number, why am I texting this number?
If you're texting this number, I'm going to send you back the QR code, or if you have a question, you want to know more about the program, if you contact me, then I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to put you in contact with, because it may be, because one of our collaborating partners is the Homelessness Alliance, and that's HHA, and that is the Homelessness Alliance deals with homelessness, and 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 it doesn't mean that you are homeless at this point, but you have the potential to become homeless. You may have missed one payment, two payments, three payments, and then the Homelessness Alliance then look at from a budgetary standpoint what they can do to help you get your realign your mortgage and get you back on track with your mortgage, or get you back on track with your rent.
Hmm. That sounds like great information.
Well, that's what we are. We are here for to make sure that we collaborate with CARES, and CARES is the Community Alliance for Resources, Empowerment, and Support.
Okay.
So the Community Alliance for Resources for Support, I am meeting with them all of the time in terms of what agencies. Is it ARC? Is it Society for Autism? If it's child care, if it's senior care, we are assembling those resources all the time to meet the needs of the population who has a need.
Okay. Now, help me understand this now. I know that you over in Okaloosa County,
Mhm.
but it's just not restricted to Okaloosa. Tell us the area of concern here.
There are no restrictions because when you go to the website, it's going to ask you for your zip code, and when you put your zip code in, it's going to pull up the agencies in the area where you live. So the first thing when the website pops up, the first thing it asks you for is your zip code.
Okay.
And your zip code tell them where you are. Now I have the responsibility for Okaloosa and Walton County.
Right.
So I have two counties over here, but I work with our collaborating partners in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. So anytime that we can help, you find the agency that you need or put you in the right direction, we want to do that. They want you to do that because that's what we do. We are here to meet the needs where there's a gap, and we call it that these gaps exist for many different reasons. The agencies, so long wait lines and the workforce shortages and transportation gaps and behavioral health care challenges and funding limitations are unclear and regulated, and housing shortages and difficulties navigating the different kind of programs and Medicare waivers and other systems. We have some retired nurses that volunteer that time, and they look at Medicaid and where the shortages are and all that sort of stuff. And the thing that's beautiful about these group of ladies and gentlemen is that they have worked in hospitals and nursing homes, and they know how the system works, and they are volunteering their time. Whereas there are agencies who do this, and I say for-profit agencies who do it to make money. But these that the folks we work with do it to change lives.
Okay. Now we're gonna go back for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that you can see. I got your email on the stream here, okay? And I want to go back to
You
you.
doing good for an old guy. You working your way through technology.
But anyway, here's the email address.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why should one use that email address?
Sure, I do. Because at the end of the day, we'll sit down, we'll send you everything that we have that you asked for. We want to do that because I have a number of folk, and I don't want to use their email address, that help me in this process. And I don't want anybody to think, well, he's doing it all by himself. No, sir. I have I have I have alumni associations, retired educators, and the sheriff department. And all of them. We give them the information, and they work with us, and they volunteer and do different things. And we have found that through the Salvation Army, who has when we do angel tree and the bell ringing every Christmas, that we have a distribution network of people who help us. And because that distribution network is already there, it really allows us to do great work. And the Salvation Army wanted to bring its resources to bear to help communities because most people don't realize that one of the things that the Salvation Army's motto is doing the most good. And the focus is to do the most good for the communities that we serve.
Absolutely. Now you gave me SA help me, okay? SA
Huh?
help,
SA
okay?
help, not me.
SA help dot
Me.
me, okay? I want you to go back and tell me about SA help dot me. So folks like me, we're a little challenged here when we get old. So you have to come back and refreshen our memories so we can get it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you to understand. We're not concerned or worried about challenges because we all have challenges at one time or another. It doesn't make a difference who you are. We live in a world and a part of a little presentation that I give from time to time is that based upon the American Medical Association, that 48 million Americans suffer for some mental issue on a day-to-day basis. It could be grief, it could be loss of a job, it could be a divorce, it could be health, it could be a diagnosis from your doctor, those things throw your life for a loop. That makes it different who you are. You can be rich, you can be poor, you can be black, you can be white, you can be old, you can be young. They throw you for a loop, and that's when you need help, and
Right.
that's where we step in because we realize that nobody's immune to this kind of situation. Nobody's immune. You know, we can, and if you don't mind me use an example, you got this radio station and everything is going just well, but you could go see your doctor and he said, okay, you can't be on the radio anymore because this diagnosis prevents you from concentrating and you need to quit where you got all your money and your time invested in all of this equipment and all this sort of stuff. That throws your life for a loop.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
true.
and then, and then that's when you need somebody to say, okay, Brother Vernon, I'm going to walk along beside you until you get better.
All right. Now, when I go to sa.me, that's a website, right?
sahelp.me.
Yeah. And so, what would I find when I go there?
When you get there, you're going to see when you go there, it's going to say, sahelp.me is going to tell you that particular website, it's going to show you, and it's going to ask you for your zip code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And once you put your zip code in, it's going to take you to a place where the agencies that you can use, that you can find that you need help. It's going to ask you, and right now, the functional part that you're going to get immediately is going to be Florida Power and Light. And Florida Power
Mm-hmm.
and Light is going to ask you for your information. It's going to ask you for uh, income. It's going to ask you for those areas that you need help, and it's going to ask you to provide them some documents. Documents could be proof of income, loss of income, that sort of thing. Once you put that in, it's going to determine tell you immediately whether you qualify for help or not.
All
If
right. Now, I'm on the web page right now. All
Mhm.
right. I want folks to follow me. The only thing I did was typed in help me dot, I mean, sa help dot me. It
Mhm.
brought up this website right here, right? And the only thing I have to do is put in, if I put in my zip code, I
Put
want to
in
put
your
in my
zip
zip
code.
code, okay? And we're going to see what happens when I put in my zip
There you
code
go.
here.
You're doing good. Go ahead and show them how it works.
All right. And they say the zip code, what it says? It says something about an error here. Okay, let me make sure I got my right zip code. I told you when you get old, it's remember the second thing they go, you're giving me an error on the zip code. Give me your zip code. Maybe it's restricted to your
Three,
area.
32548.
32548.
Eight.
Okay. I'm punching that in and it's still giving me an error message, but it probably on my end here. Let me see. Maybe I have to allow all cookies and maybe I have to do all of that good stuff. I don't know. It
All
just
right, let me look at I'm gonna turn my iPad on and see if it's on your end.
okay. It's all about love now.
Oh yeah,
So this is what you get
that.
when you type it in there.
Hang on, I'm working on it right now.
Are you doing the same thing I'm doing on this end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good. That's good to know if I'm having some difficulties on your end over there in Santa Rosa County, because then I need to get our technical people on.
Get them on the line.
No, I'm.
You know what I mean?
No,
I get
you
them on the
good.
line,
Yeah.
but get them on it. You better get them on the job.
But see, here's the thing. We need a little. Mine said we need a little bit more information. Then it asks you for your email address. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see. Now I'm gonna put my email address in there, and because I'm in.
Okay. You in over on your end, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. I'm gonna try it again. Uh,
Okay.
32526. That's my email address. And I'm gonna do search. And I'm in. Yeah. You must have did something on your end.
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Now, let me follow you through it now. Help me. Let's walk myself through it, okay? So I'm at the next bar. He says, "Welcome to SA Help." What do SA mean?
Salvation
Salvation
Army.
Army Help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what should I put in this bar here?
Once you put it in there, then it's going to actually go back. It's going to send you a verification code.
Okay. What am I supposed? It says, what should I put in here though? It gives me a bar that I need to enter something. I can't see it on this little
It
small
sent
screen.
a verification code to your email address.
I don't know. Okay, in other words, then I have to put my email address in there, which I have not. Okay,
Well,
that's the
then
next step is to put your email address in there, right?
the next step is put your email address.
All right, I'm gonna put my email address in here. Okay, and let me see. And then they're gonna verify you. There's
Mm-hmm. So
nothing.
it's
There's
now go
nothing
back.
strange. They all everybody. So you know who you are, right? And I want to go next. Okay. And they send an email verification. Let me see if they can send me an email of verification. This good. It's good stuff. Because folks can follow us through here.
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
Hey,
All right. I'm
that's what we want to do.
looking at my phone, and it did. Um, Sending me an email address. Let me see here. Hang on. It's trying to verify me. Um, Give me a year or two, and I'll get verified here in a minute. Okay. Takes a second for you to be verified, but once you put your email address in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here, keyboard. Let's see here. Okay, it got. I'm trying to. You're gonna send me a code.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see if I can find my code. Okay, back to my account here. Find my code. And it sent me a code. Come on, code. All right, I'm going to put my code in there.
Put
Folks,
your code
if
in
you're
there.
watching, follow along with me. Just go to your website, go to your web browser and type in sahelp.me. It'll
Mm-hmm.
bring you up to the page to ask you to put your zip code in there. Once you put your zip code in there, then they're going to ask you to put your email address in there. And once you put your email address in there, they're going to send you a verification code in your email to verify this is a legitimate email address. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So I got my code. Let's see here. I'm going to put in my code. If I don't get dyslexic here, I'm put in my code and I'm going to do next. Okay. All right. Now, they're saying here, Pastor says special assistance available in your area. Now, being a being an old blind man, I can't read. I got two options now. Are you able to see? I know what I can do. Maybe I can put this on the computer that I can see. But what is it
Here you
asking me
go.
for in the second area up there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking? Are you paying attention? You over
Okay,
there?
okay. I got
Okay,
you.
I want you to look. In the special. It's asking me for special assistance in your area, and they got two items that I'm unable to read from my vantage point, and I got to
Okay.
select one or the other, and I'm
I
trying
want
to
you
understand what is it
I want you
saying.
to check the one at the top. Are you seeking
Check.
assistance from Florida Power Life?
Okay, all right, all right. I
I
just
want you to
checked
check
that.
that one because I know that one works for you.
All right, then. Okay, I just clicked that. All
And
right,
then it's going to give you a little movie.
all right. Then I take.
It'll tell you
Okay, now
everything.
tell me before I click on the movie what this movie is all about.
It's all about what's going to happen. It's a household having trouble paying their energy bill may qualify for energy assistance. This
Hmm.
program is made possible by the generosity of Florida Power and Light employees, shareholders, and other caring customers to help homes facing financial emergencies such as sudden illnesses or unemployment.
Okay.
Eligibility. It's just going to give you all the information about it's a 3.2, it's a 3.2, a 3 minute, it's a 3 minute
Video.
mhm.
All right.
There you
Now,
go.
let
Have
me
you
ask this
ever
question.
wondered how the Salvation Army came to be? Let's go back to London, England in 1865. Poverty and suffering were widespread issues across the city. William Booth, with his wife Catherine, committed to walking the streets of London and ministering to the broken, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to the poor, the homeless, and the hungry. Under their leadership, a movement began to grow, as did their ministry, recognizing that physical, emotional, social, and spiritual restoration go hand in hand. In William Booth's book, Darkest England and the Way Out, he states, "I must assert in the most unqualified way that it is primarily and mainly for the sake of saving the soul that I seek the salvation of the body." Today, the Salvation Army serves in more than 130 countries across the world, impacting over 25 million people each year in the United States. This looks different everywhere based on the needs of each community. We work to assess local needs by identifying the obstacles and challenges, then develop local programs designed to offer immediate relief, short-term care, and long-term growth. In addition to the well-known Red Kettle, thrift stores, and disaster services, the Salvation Army can be found serving people of all ages in all walks of life. We are motivated by our core values in all we do, choosing to be brave as we help disaster survivors who are searching for a glimpse of hope, showing compassion through our unemployment services and prison ministries for those looking for a way out of their brokenness, passionately caring for our youth through summer camps, daycare centers, educational programs, and providing gifts at Christmas for families in need, being uplifting through our rehabilitation centers and programs for those struggling with alcohol or substance abuse, building trust within communities as we combat human trafficking, love the elderly, and overcome poverty by creating a pathway of hope. At the heart of it all is still the same motivation behind our founder, William Booth's original mission when he started the Salvation Army: to seek and save the lost. Weekly worship services, Sunday school, and Bible studies are held in Salvation Army Corps or churches everywhere, and members gather together in community to encourage each other and grow in the love of God. Salvation Army officers, soldiers, employees, volunteers, donors, and friends help to uphold our branding promise of doing the most good. The Salvation Army, an international movement, is an evangelical part of the Universal Christian Church. Its message is based on the Bible. Its ministry is motivated by the love of God. Its mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. For more information on the Salvation Army in the USA and to connect with your local Salvation Army, visit www.salvationarmyusa.org.
Okay.
All right, Pastor, I'm glad we're going through that because we're going through this step by step.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah,
And
we're going through this
because,
step by
because
step.
in the weeks to come, we're going to invite members of the community to come on with us.
Okay.
All right.
All
Now,
right.
if we hit next, you watch that, you hit next, and it says, "How can we help you today?" And it has electricity.
Okay.
And you click on that little button that says electricity, and it'll tell you how we can help with that electricity.
All right.
Okay.
I'm still stuck in the on the YouTube page, but I don't see that part of it. But
Scroll
yes, I
down.
do. Yeah, I do. When you again, folks like me gonna have challenges with the internet, just scroll down, folks. Just scroll down and hit next, and it tells you how can just like you said, how can I help? Let me put it back on the stream here for a minute. Um, okay. Then you check. You got to check what electricity, right? All
Uh-huh.
right, on
Now,
electricity.
now
All right.
electricity right now, in the very near future, you're going to see electricity, utilities. You're going to see a whole list of ways that we can help.
Okay. Now let me ask you before I go forward with on this website. Um, who's eligible for this program?
Everybody,
Any and everybody.
any and everybody.
Okay. All right. So then they got some rules and policies and disclaimers here about it, so you can read that information. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and do next on it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do next. All right. Now they want personal information about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
So you
they
fill
want
in fill the
well, yeah, they
information
know who you are.
about your personal stuff. Okay. Uh, let's see. We autocorrect. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to put stuff in it to get past all of this stuff here, so I can get past it here. Okay. And all right. See, will it let me get past? It probably won't let me get past, but it's gonna send again when you send your phone number on it. It's gonna ask you for another verification code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Then when you get your verification code, and then you will let me see here.
Vernon, you getting a good lesson today.
Yeah, well, the audience getting a good lesson. I'm not. That's what we want the folks to understand how the Salvation Army can help them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna put my phone number in here. If they end up paying my light bill, that's gonna be a great thing for me. But with my luck, my luck is when my ship come in, I'm at the bus station somewhere waiting. Okay, you know about that, don't
Oh yeah, it happens to me all the time.
you? All right. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone number in, and must have did something wrong here. Okay, and I didn't get it
This is
all.
a rather lengthy form, Brother Vernon, because you only about 10% are finished.
Okay,
So, but now you got them to the part that if they just follow that procedure,
right.
and if they need one-on-one assistance,
Mm-hmm.
contact me at my email, and I will take the time to do one-on-one with somebody.
Okay, that is your email at the bottom here, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at least we got them started. This is how you go. H, what you call it? They put it in there right here, folks. Okay, do
Uh-huh.
this HSAHELP.me. Help me. Help me. All
Help
right.
me.
And so when you
Matter of
have
fact,
questions, then
just remember,
you
it's like Salvation Army, help me.
right. Salvation Army help me.
Now,
And
let me tell you that this particular uh, port that you're looking at now, that is the beginning of what's going to expand to include uh, rent, uh, utilities, um, healthcare, healthcare being medical support, is going to, so whatever help you need, because one of the things that most people note Salvation Army for is Salvation Army respond to all disasters.
Mm.
It could be a house fire, it could be a hurricane, it could be a flood, and the goal is to respond to the disasters and help people who have a need for help. Whatever caused it to happen is what they work to do, or
Okay.
what we work to do. I'm saying they work to do, but what we work to do.
All right. Very good. Man, you know what though, Pastor? It's a lot of help out here that
Mm-hmm.
people just don't know about. And this is what this program is all about, is getting people help. And folks, you're gonna have an opportunity to come on next month. You can zoom in, you can call in, or you can text in, and to get any of your questions answered. We're gonna have Pastor Farrell here, you have myself here, to answer any question that you're gonna need. Everything. And you're talking about texting in. You gave me your text number, Pastor,
Mm-hmm.
right here. All right,
Right.
now. All right. So when you, how to, what should they text you? Why should they use this number?
They should text me that says they can even text me and say I'm having problem getting into that website, or I'm looking for help that's not in that website. I'm looking for help with housing. I'm looking for help with Medicaid or Medicare, and because we have caseworkers, we provide a lot of research for you. We know who to call for you, and we'll contact whether it's whether we contact CARES, or whether we contact the Homeless Alliance, or whether we contact, and we even have some lawyers who are doing pro bono service. Whatever we need to do to help you get on your feet is what we do. Whatever
Very
you
interesting.
and we have and we have what is called an open door policy.
What that
And
mean?
we don't never close the door. We don't tell you we can't. We don't tell you we can't do it.
Yeah.
We look for a way to do it.
Right.
Not looking for a way to give you
Robert
that.
Hill always used to say, "Don't find a way not to do it. Find a way to do it." And that's
Find a
obviously
way
that's
to
what you
do it.
guys are doing here.
Yeah, don't tell me you can't do it, but find a way to do it.
Right. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Continue on, Pastor.
Okay. Now I want to, because what I want to do, and I'm going to send you this for next week. We're looking to do 8 steps that we're working on. And we want to set a community vision and prioritize goals and concerns. What are the concerns that you have in your community? And understand funding options and processes. What does it take to get the funding we need? And build deepening your relationships. Who should we have a relationship with to help us do what we need to do to help our neighbors in a time of trouble? Determine shared priorities and identify funding opportunities. Where are the money? How do we get it? How do we get it into the community? And then we ought to build our cases and tell our story. Because one of our, like for example, we are experiencing right now babies that are dying from SIDS. Why is that happening? And what do we need to do to address those needs? Because the families who bury their children from SIDS, they have a crisis. We may not understand it, but they truly have a crisis. And the other one is that the next one is we submit an application and advocate for funding. We meet with our legislators in the Panhandle and say, this is what we need, guys. When you go to Tallahassee and you look at the budget, this is what we need out here to meet our contingencies. And we develop and implement an action plan of how we're going to address those needs, and we're going to track progress and ensure accountability. Our whole goal boils down to one thing: find somebody you can help. This is what we encourage each other to do on a day-to-day basis. That we ask the question: did you find somebody you could help? And we're looking to find somebody every day. When I wake up every day, my goal is to find somebody I can help. And when I can help people, then my day has been completed. But my goal is to find somebody who needs my help.
Okay.
Not one
And
day, but every day.
people always needing help.
Yeah.
And it should be a personal obligation of ours to try to help people. Um, it's amazing how so much resources is available, and we don't always take advantage of it, Pastor. So I encourage folks to go out there and do whatever you can to help somebody that is a lot less fortunate than you, and provide them today. Now, my hats off to the Salvation Army, and your sponsor, who's sponsoring this is the Salvation Army. They're reaching out to talk to them. Let's talk to us about the reason for this whole show, Pastor
But
Farrell.
let me say this. It's the Salvation Army and her partners. Because we have partners, and when I call partners, there are other agencies and people in the community who are the unsung heroes. I call them unsung heroes because there are people who fund these programs and they basically step in and they write checks and fund these programs, and they don't want anybody taking pictures and applauding them on the back. They simply want to be a help to their neighbors. They may say to me, and I had one in particular said to me, I can't do what you do in terms of getting out into the community and working with caseworkers, and I don't know anything about the caseworkers, and I don't know anything about the homeless management information systems or cares or medical support. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I can write a check.
Mhm.
And so he and his wife writes a check. I have people who stop me on the street and say, I want to be a blessing. Who do I make the check out to? And I always encourage them to do a check because I don't want them to hand me cash. But our whole goal is this right here, and mine come from a much deeper place, and mine come from the part that I was a pastor of a church in Panama City, and I got a conviction one Sunday morning. I was standing and I was preaching from the book of James, and I got to verse 27. It says, "A true religion undefiled is that you take care of widows and orphans in that time of trouble." And God convicted me on the spot that there's enough of us standing around on Sunday morning talking, but are we out in the street walking the walk, meeting people at the point of their needs and ministering to their sons and daughters who are incarcerated? We have just up the road from you, we got 70 veterans who are incarcerated in Century Prison. Veterans who fought for this country, who are now incarcerated for whatever reason there is, and then we started by providing them at least on Veterans Day, on Memorial Day, on Christmas, on Thanksgiving and Christmas. We want to cater those men a meal. That we do something to bless them, and we go and we teach the gospel. Everywhere we go, we teach the gospel. And the gospel of Jesus Christ. It says that, he said in Revelation, without me doing a whole sermon today, Revelations 2, he said, John, the Revelator asked the question. He said, "Where then have we found you hungry and didn't feed you? Where did we found you thirsty and didn't give you to drink, or you were incarcerated, we didn't come by sea?" And he said, that you've done to the least of these, you've done it to me also. So. Yeah. So this is that true religion undefiled. This is that true religion that says, okay, it's good if you got a great sound system that you can, and your choir sing real good and play real good, and your preacher can hoop real good. But who are you helping?
Yeah,
that's the question. So Brother Vernon, here it is that if I was going to call a church, I would say that I'm ministering in the church, and my sound engineer is WBOP.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing that occurs. And you know, I say to people, like, for example, if people want to help, I'm sure they can send it to WBOP, or they could cash app it to me, and I'll submit a list. And my cash app is # Pastor Farrell. That's my cash app. And we do everything that we generate, we give back to the community. Everything that we generate.
Okay.
And so,
Alrighty.
so if somebody if they want to send me a text message to the text that I got, so I want to help, I will send them a direction on how they can help. And a lot of the help people don't know is that people bring things to the area, and we resell some in our thrift store. There are people helping every day in so many ways, and we are just absolutely excited about every person that helps. We have people who come and volunteer here, and they are helping all the time.
Now, as we get on the site here, the barcode, the QR, I call it a barcode most school. The new folks call it the QR code. You got the QR code here that you can check in, and you can send to anybody that you want to. Just scan the code here, do the survey, and you should be able to get help any way that you need it. Okay? The whole idea, folks, of this program is to help somebody.
Help each other.
Right. Say it again, Pastor.
Help each other. The whole idea is that we come together as one body in Christ Jesus to help each other.
Absolutely.
To help each other. Because it may not be your day to need some help, but tomorrow might be.
Yep. Yep.
But and if we go to the Bible and it says, bring your tithes and offerings to the storehouse so that meet my house. The focus is, who can we help? Who needs our help today?
Right.
Who needs our help tomorrow? And the day after, and the day after? Who will need our help? And how do we then organize ourselves to facilitate to get the help to the greatest need?
Right. Okay. Again, folks, there is a email address, farrellw9@gmail.com. You can email Pastor Farrell for anything that you need, information, help, whatever. If you wanted to text him, you can text him at this number here. I believe it is this number here. Pastor Farrell, I believe that's the right number, right?
That's the right number.
Text you at right here. Okay. Or text or email. Now, if you want to go to the website, okay, if you're interested in going to the website, you can also do the same thing. You just type in on your browser sahelp.me, sahelp.me, and it would take you to this website here. Okay, just type it in, it'll take you to the website, and you can get all the information that you need and help that you need. You fill out the process. Once you fill that information out, Pastor, that is it, right?
That's right.
That is it. It might take you a few minutes to go through. How many pages is it?
It's about 8 pages.
About 8 pages? Okay. 8 pages of information that is vital to you. Your information, your phone number, your email address, your circumstances, what you need help with, and stuff like that. This, right now, anybody that can go on this site that needs help with the electricity bill. And you know what, Pastor? Guess what? I've been hearing people complaining so much about how high the bills is as a
Mm-hmm.
result of this cold weather that we have been having. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so now's a good time to get help. There is no, I don't like to say, I don't know what all the qualifying factors that's involved, but help is available. The cavalry is coming. Okay. You're going to have to help yourself by going to the website and do your due diligence and do what you need to do to receive the help.
Well, I can tell you, I can say to you, uh, Brother Watson, from the standpoint of one who do the approval, we help people every day.
Mm-hmm.
We pay light bills every day.
Right.
We supply food to people every day. We do clothes vouchers to men getting out of jail every day.
Mm.
We provide lunch to people, to the homeless every day. So if people say you can't find any help, yeah, we do. We do it every day.
Yeah.
I, but I,
Help.
but I, but I love it. I tell people all the time. I get a chance to be good to somebody every day I get up.
Right. Help is just for asking.
Just for asking. You have
Just
not because you ask not.
preach to them again. Have not because what?
You ask
You
not.
ask not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have not.
Because we are committed. We are. Our total existence is to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you don't have to. A lot of people can't help you unless you're a member of that church. But you don't have to do
Yeah.
that here.
Yeah. Again, remind people who you represent.
Christ Jesus. I know I represent Salvation Army, but they represent Jesus. The whole
Yeah.
thing is a, and when I say represent, it's to show the love of Jesus and not just call his name. A
Okay.
lot of times, you hear the people say, help me call his name. Mine is you call his name every time you bless somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Now they are in partnership. Can you think of the partnerships they have to help make this project possible?
We have partnerships with um, churches, nonprofit organizations. I have a number of churches, not all churches, but I have a number of churches that support us. We are part of that mission program, and I have a number of nonprofit organizations, United Way, uh, the blind, uh, Career Source. I have a number of organizations that we partner with to meet the needs of the members of the people in the community that need help, and all of them contribute in their own special way. ARC, handicapped veterans, the Veterans Administration. We have an entire point for the Veterans Administration, and in terms of helping veterans, because we believe that there should never be a homeless veteran. There should never be a veteran without somebody helping him meet his needs. And so we work with the VA and the Veterans Administration. We work with homeless women. We work with Fresh Start Coalition, and the Fresh Start Coalition is displaced homemakers, as they call them, and we look at giving them a second chance, an opportunity place, and the food rescue mission. Our whole goal is to work with every agency that meet the needs of people, and then help those people begin to work themselves to the point. And I laughingly tell people all the time. They say, "What are my goals?" And I said, "My goal is to work my way out of a job. See, if nobody had a need, I would no longer have a need to do this. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. That
Yeah.
there's always going to be somebody with a need. That's why I will always have a job to work.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so this is the part of my life, if you will, that I'm at the juncture in my life that I don't want to play church anymore. I want to become the church.
Okay.
I want to become.
Folks, if you need help, you got to pay this very special attention. If you need
Mm-hmm.
help is there. Pastor Willie Farrell represents and with the Salvation Army reaching out to provide help and opportunities. They can help you pay your light bill. They can help you find a job. They can help you
Mm-hmm.
find food. They can help you find clothing. If you're in need, get a hold of the Salvation Army. Okay? If
Mm-hmm.
nothing else, if you're at home, just go to this website called sahelp.me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they can definitely help you there as well. If you don't want to do that, which you should, I don't understand why you wouldn't, but if you don't do that, text him or call him, but text him rather, because text him at 850-964-3706. He'll get back to you and everything. So try not to plug him up with, because phone calls take time and it clogs up the phone. You can say the same thing over text that you can say over the phone, and they'll get right back to you with this. Okay,
Well,
and so
the reason, Brother Ron, if I let me interrupt, the reason I want you to text me because I want to make sure that if I need to research the information to make sure that you get correct information, I want to give you the correct information.
absolutely,
You know,
and get
and
back to you.
so I might need to call somebody else. I might need to research it in the computer, but I want to be able to locate what you need, that I can give it to you, that your needs are met.
And if that text doesn't work for you, definitely you can email him at pharaohw9@gmail.com. He can
Yep.
do the same thing. He can texting you your need or your question. Email it to him. He has an email address. He can get right back to you and get you any kind of help or information that you would need. Okay, and so please take advantage of it. Not only that, tell your friends and neighbors about this, and tell your friends and neighbors about this program. We're on every is it a second? We're on every second Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You invited to come on yourself. And in fact, I think we have if I can find it here, you might want to put it somewhere another. You can actually zoom in if you like. Okay. You can actually zoom in, and let me take this other one off here. Uh, to be a part of this meeting on that we have. This is virtual. It's going to be a virtual town hall meeting
Mm-hmm.
every Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here on WBQP TV, and right here we are broadcasting on television. We're broadcasting on YouTube. We're broadcasting on all the social media sites. Okay, so that we can try to reach as many people as we can, and definitely with this new technology, you don't have to show up. You can show up without showing up. Okay, you see the meeting code. It's an open meeting code. This code is the meeting is only available from 10 to 12 on second Tuesday of the month. You can have your input, and if you are a business or somebody that want to donate to the cause, you most certainly get a hold of Pastor Farrell, and he can direct you into helping you donate, because these are 501c organizations which are tax deductible if you have a business. But if you're an individual that happens to be in need, you definitely want to get a hold of him as well. But this is the meeting ID code, and this is the passcode that you can call into the meeting, the virtual town hall meeting on Tuesday between 10 and 12 on the second Tuesday of the month. Pastor, did I miss anything?
No, sir. We welcome community leaders and pastors and nonprofit people that are developing nonprofit organizations to come online with us. Tell us what you need. Tell us how we can help. Tell us how you can help us. You know, because really and truly, we all function better when we function together.
Absolutely. You kind of reminded me when you say that. I learned a lesson early on in my life, and I have to give I thought my grandmama was one of the meanest old ladies I ever seen in my life, Pastor. And but at being at the age of 10 and 11 years old, I spent some time was living with her for about a year or so. I learned more in that year with that lady that carried me through life than I've learned from anybody else singly. But she told me one day about trying to stick together and don't don't get broken. And she said, but she showed me an example. So you see that stick down there? She said, well, you pick it up. And I picked that little twig up and she said, break it. And I broke that little twig. She said, get 2 twigs. And then been 10 years old. I had a tough time, but I broke it. Then she said, get 3 twigs. And then I had to take my knee and try to break those 3 twigs and pick up another. Now, she said, well, as long as you stick together, the more of you stick together, the harder for people to break you, son. Don't ever forget that. And I never forgot that lesson, Pastor. It's a very important message. And that took me through life and taught me a lot about teamwork as I ventured through life. And so you're saying the same thing here.
Well, that's because I had the same lesson from my mother. My
Really?
my mother's lesson was this right here. My mother's lesson to all of us. And like you, there was 9 of us. And I get so aggravated at my mother because my mother was feeding people in the community when it didn't look like we had enough to eat.
Yeah.
And so one day I asked her, I'm like, how come you're always doing this? She said, well, we got something and they have nothing.
Right.
And so now today, when I find myself doing what I'm doing right now, and I find myself working through this process, and I can hear her still talking to me that says, you got something, they have nothing. So,
But
so she still visits me from the grave. And she said, as long as you got something and they got nothing, you ought to be able to give them something.
right, exactly right. And those are valuable lessons. I'll tell you another lesson since we going down memory lane here that my grandmother taught me. She told me, every time I did a sorry job on something, she made me repeat this poem. Okay? And I never forgot that poem. She said, son, listen, if a task is once begun, never leave it until it's done. Whether that task is great or small, you do it well or not at all. And in my house, not at all is not an option.
Hello.
Thank you. Hello, Grandma. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
And I believe, Brother Vernon, we can get back to the basics. You know, we've all kind of moved into this place where we want to be bigger than the next guy. But if we can get back to the basics, where if I got 2 slices of bread, you got 1.
Yeah.
We get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Then all of this other stuff that seemed to be overshadowing our joy and happiness can be put to rest. Because I believe that God, Lord, you keep trying to. I keep trying to give you the information without being preachy, but I believe everything that happened in Exodus is true again. The 16th chapter of the book of Exodus, and the children of Israel were complaining. God sent them manna every day.
Yeah.
For 40 years, He sent them manna every day.
Mm.
And then they said, well, we don't have no meat. Then He started sending them quail. So sometimes I think that what we want to do is we want to stockpile, and he said, take what I have for you every day. He sends manna every day.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'll tell you another thing you probably don't know, but this is what I learned from your brother Lewis. Okay. And I use it throughout my motivating spirit when I talk to people and about where you go in life. He told me one time, he said, Bro Watson, he said, if you ever, I know he had to get it from his grandmama. Tell him I don't think he that smart. I think he just learned that from his grandmama. Okay.
I got you.
But anyway, but he did say that. Now I learned this from him, and I used it throughout my life. And when I tell people that, he said, if you ever see a frog sitting on a fence post, I know you laugh because you know what I'm talking about. He said, just know that he didn't get that by himself. He didn't get that by himself. He had to have some help to get him up there, right?
That came from up on the hill we call. See, my dad built a house on top of a hill, and we all lived there in this house on the hill. And that was one of the bit of wisdom that we got from my dad. So if you see a frog sitting on a fence post, that he didn't get there by himself, he had some help.
Yeah.
And being that you mentioned Lewis, now Lewis he's a quintessential helper. He's been my helper and best friend all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's my brother, and I consider it to be one of the rarest things in the world that and I tell him often that it is very, very strange to have a brother who's also your best friend.
Yeah, yeah.
But he has been he's been that kind of man. But but if we can all get some of that in our daily walk, just some of that, then we can fix a lot of things. Do you know that half of the children who end up in gangs go there because somebody was to love them and show them compassion?
Wow.
I mean, in other words, I think it's kind of disheartening that a gang can show more compassion than the church.
Right. Or your family.
Or your family.
Yeah.
Can you imagine for a minute that gang life is more? They do more for you than your family and your church.
Yeah. Right. And that's what people sometimes, Pastor Farrell, just don't understand about human nature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a sense of belongingness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make people feel isolated. Make them feel included. Make them feel wanted. And that's how gang members and pimps and all those savory elements recruit people, and you can do the same thing at home. Just, but sometimes I don't sometimes understand how that dynamic works. Sometimes when we miss those opportunities and we miss those signs, and people like pimps and gang members and cult leaders and stuff like that can get to the minds and the hearts of good people. It's just amazing to me.
Well, that's because we are so busy being important that we don't take the time to show compassion.
Yeah.
We want everybody to know our name. They want everybody to think we're special. That we have that my name means something. But the Bible gives us. He said, "If I be lifted up."
Yeah. We were just talking on my morning show about the death of Jesse Jackson. And Jesse put it all in a nice little wrapper by saying, I am somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people get hooked, they take it too literally sometimes, that they want to be somebody and they forget about everybody else by wanting to be somebody. It's fine to be somebody, but don't forget the lesson that your brother taught me. Remember, you might be somebody, but you didn't get there by yourself. You didn't get on that fence post alone. Somebody helped you along the way, and it's incumbent upon us to reach back and pull somebody else up, because we all standing on somebody's shoulders. You can believe that.
I know that to be a fact. Matter of fact, I'm standing on Lewis's shoulders right now.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
tell you, it's absolutely amazing how the system works. Okay, but let's get back. I guess we got a
Okay.
little
I tell you
off
that's
task.
that's all right. We needed to do that. Now I'm going to send you some things today as when we wrap up. But would you do me a favor? I want to show that video again about the Salvation Army, so they get a full glimpse of what it does. And
Hmm.
then I'm going to send you one on the Veterans Administration because I got some more videos and things like that I want to send you. But could you play that again?
Yeah, give me a minute. Let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube so I can play it in full motion. Okay,
Mhm.
and so I want you to go back again while I'm doing this and
Mhm.
explain to the people why we got this show and what you
Well, we got this show,
sailor to
but
available to offer.
but while we are going back, while you're doing that, I want to kind of give you something to think about that we didn't really cover that well, and that is the veterans in helping veterans.
Hmm.
Our commitment in helping veterans is that we set up the case because veterans need transportation, interviews, and jobs and meals and housing. And our goal is to be there for the veterans who was there for us. They serve this nation. They skip their Thanksgivings. They did skip Christmas and all other holidays. And the thing is, we have men, women, and families who were veterans who were adversely impacted in one way or another. And the Vietnam War was over, but it did not. But they brought it home with them, and we owe them a debt of gratitude because we have the freedoms that we have because they made the sacrifices that they made. And so we look at serving the total person, and we look at the time of the year, whether it's Christmas and holidays, and if grief is a part of their Christmas and holidays, and how then do we work on helping them meet their needs, their material assistance. Do they need groceries? Do they need lodging? Do they need housing? Do they need permanent placement? And we work with them in getting all of that done. We look at clothing and furniture and medical and personal comfort kits that we put together for veterans because we truly honor and respect what they've done for this country. We look at energy assistance and transportation and all other services. We record those and we then reach out to the Veterans Administration and say, hey, we still want to meet the needs of the men and women who came home with PTSD or some other issue they have not dealt with. There are a number of things that our veterans need, and the Veterans Administration is there. I have them on speed dial. We can reach out to them and then get the need and support for them that we have. And then we have information and referrals in terms of jobs and people who are hiring in adult rehabilitation centers and consultation from agencies. And we record anything that we need to get for them and their children, such as counseling and tutoring and speech therapy and case management to make sure that they get everything that they need. And we record those referrals in community resources so that other agencies throughout the community can meet the needs of these veterans as well and helping them. We do social agencies and employment assistance, and we refer to them to clinics who then will see and take care of them as much as time and effort allow. We are in this together, ladies and gentlemen. We got to understand that we're all in this together. And then, of course, we look at whatever they need in terms of outreach and assessments and plan information, and we link them up with other agencies. We do home visits and we look at them, what they need in their home, employment training and education and employment placement where the need arises to help them find the job that they need in terms of a cumulative number of things that they may need in the process. That's a typical layout for veterans and veterans needs. And that's a typical platform for what we want to do every day. And we ask ourselves the question every day, and we ask you to ask yourself the same question. Who have you blessed today? And then who can I bless today and tomorrow? That's our goal, and that's our aim on any given day is to be the kindness somebody meets today. And the kindness that we show kindness in one way or the other. So I say that, and the other thing that I want to mention is that there are some groups that are called Reboot for Veterans. And those are focus groups and study groups for veterans come together and help them reboot or restart their lives in a positive way. Because all of us go through crisis, every last one of us. And how do we then deal with crisis intervention and help them move into a place? And so we work for the common good. If you remember, you look and it said doing the most good. That's our whole goal, is how do we do the most good?
Right.
And so not only, and I need each and every one of us to wake up, and if there's somebody on your street, as the preacher said, on your road, on your street, that need a helping hand, is there something we can do to help them? And then we need to ask ourselves the question, how do we then go about helping them where they are, helping meet their needs? That's our whole goal. That's the focus of everything that we do every day.
Okay. All right. I think I got the video
All
here.
right.
And let me clear my screen here. And we'll go ahead and play this video for you. Here we go.
Have you ever wondered how the Salvation Army came to be? Let's go back to London, England in 1865. Poverty and suffering were widespread issues across the city. William Booth, with his wife Catherine, committed to walking the streets of London and ministering to the broken, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to the poor, the homeless, and the hungry. Under their leadership, a movement began to grow, as did their ministry, recognizing that physical, emotional, social, and spiritual restoration go hand in hand. In William Booth's book, Darkest England and the Way Out, he states, "I must assert in the most unqualified way that it is primarily and mainly for the sake of saving the soul that I seek the salvation of the body." Today, the Salvation Army serves in more than 130 countries across the world, impacting over 25 million people each year in the United States. This looks different everywhere based on the needs of each community. We work to assess local needs by identifying the obstacles and challenges, then develop local programs designed to offer immediate relief, short-term care, and long-term growth. In addition to the well-known Red Kettle, thrift stores, and disaster services, the Salvation Army can be found serving people of all ages in all walks of life. We are motivated by our core values in all we do, choosing to be brave as we help disaster survivors who are searching for a glimpse of hope, showing compassion through our unemployment services and prison ministries for those looking for a way out of their brokenness, passionately caring for our youth through summer camps, daycare centers, educational programs, and providing gifts at Christmas for families in need, being uplifting through our rehabilitation centers and programs for those struggling with alcohol or substance abuse, building trust within communities as we combat human trafficking, love the elderly, and overcome poverty by creating a pathway of hope. At the heart of it all is still the same motivation behind our founder, William Booth's original mission when he started the Salvation Army: to seek and save the lost. Weekly worship services, Sunday school, and Bible studies are held in Salvation Army Corps or churches everywhere, and members gather together in community to encourage each other and grow in the love of God. Salvation Army officers, soldiers, employees, volunteers, donors, and friends help to uphold our branding promise of doing the most good. The Salvation Army, an international movement, is an evangelical part of the Universal Christian Church. Its message is based on the Bible. Its ministry is motivated by the love of God. Its mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. For more information on the Salvation Army in the USA and to connect with your local Salvation Army, visit www.salvationarmyusa.org.
All right, Pastor.
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
We're down to the last 20 minutes, and if you would just post the information up so that anybody can get it, and then next week the next time we're on, we'll have some visitors with us, and we'll fill the whole 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay?
All righty.
So if you
Very
could just
good.
post up the information, that would be great.
All right. The information, again, if you want to contact Pastor Farrell, type that's his email address.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go to the let me see here, the self-help. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the website that you need to go to. If you need to text him, okay, please do so at this number here, text only. And if you just in case anytime you need help, y'all, anytime you need help, that's what you need to do is go and get these numbers, this email address, if you will, or this website here, okay, and you can get some help. Now, I want to go back to. I'll show you where we are going to. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you need to write this down and write down the second Tuesday of the month, 10 a.m. from 10 to 12 a.m., we will hold a virtual town hall meeting with Pastor Willie Farrell. And you can join in yourself by writing this meeting code down. And here's the password to the meeting code. It's only good between 10 and 12 on Tuesday, on the second Tuesday of each month. And you can become a part of the conversation here. Salvation Army. I know people wondered why do you see them out there every Christmas with the kettle and stuff like that. Can you tell them a little, Pastor? Can you tell them a little bit about the history of the Salvation Army?
Sure. As a matter of fact, each Christmas, the Salvation Army two signature programs is Angel Tree and the Red Kettle. And you'll find that in front of Walmart and Publix and Kohl's and other stores, you'll find the volunteers and paid workers are ringing the bell in the kettle. We also have nonprofit organizations that may ring a day or a department. We've had the sheriff department who worked a particular spot. We've had the Kiwanis clubs that worked a particular spot, the League of Women Voters, and we came together as a community to raise money for the Salvation Army, and that's what the Red Kettle program does. That's what it's all about. But at the same time, we have the initiative which is called Angel Tree, and we take through our website, we let individuals put their needs for their children. They can't afford to do Christmas. And they put their name and the toys that they're looking for on a tag. And we put just first name, not last name. And we put it on a Christmas tree in the stores, whether it be Walmart or whether it be Kohl's or whether it be the Bass Pro Shop and so many others, Kohl's. And we put those trees there. And the individuals will take a tag from that tree, and then they would go back in the store and purchase a gift for somebody that they never see. And this is what blesses me so much. In this year, this past year, is that we raised roughly $133,000. We provided 4,400 toys and clothes for underrepresented, marginalized children. We touched 1,100 families between Thanksgiving and Christmas through the generosity of the people in this community. I loved every minute of it. It was long days of collecting toys and getting them in one place and connecting them with the children who had made a request, but it was worth every bit of it to be able to do that. So those are the two signature programs. Now we have programs throughout the year, and those programs could be everything from classes that's offered to support programs within the community. Because what we do every day is get up to be a blessing to somebody else. And those through in the Red Kettle and the Red Kettle and the Angel Tree. The other thing is that we have fraternities and sororities who hold individual food drives, and they bring that food by to help stock the pantries, the food pantry. So we've had the Zetas and the Qs and the Kappas and all of the Greek letter fraternities may hold a food drive. Your church, your organization might want to hold a food drive and take it to your Salvation Army so that we can continue to be a blessing to the community. That's how we get what we give away.
Okay, the Salvation Army is an interesting organization, and I understand it go way back to 1865. I want to play this. I got another YouTube clip that I want to play. I think it's important that people understand the history of anything, whether it's the Salvation Army or the history of your family, because if you know the history and you know the roots of everything, you can better understand and appreciate it. Is it okay that I do that, Pastor?
Yes, sir, it is. Please do.
Here we go.
London calling, attentional stations.
It is 1902. The Marconi Wireless Telegraph Company of London, England prepares its first transatlantic message. It will be relayed around the world. Transmission time for each is limited.
Stand by for wireless telegraph message from General William Booth.
William Booth, founder of the Salvation Army, sends one word.
I'm Walter Cronkite, here to tell you the story of one of America's favorite charities, the Salvation Army. Have you wondered who these people are? This Salvation Army? I did, and this is what I found. I guess people at the Salvation Army are pretty much like all the rest of us. At least I'd like to think that. What is it about this organization that makes it, as they say, America's favorite charity? It prides itself on having a reputation for caring. From the Army's very beginning, its members and its workers have believed theirs is not a job, but a commitment. This Army's mission is summarized in a single word: others. The year is 1865. The American Civil War is quickly approaching its tortuous end. Lincoln has delivered his magnificent second inaugural, urging malice toward none and charity for all. In Britain, William Booth, a 36-year-old Methodist minister whose wife Catherine was pregnant with their fourth child, resigned his position as pastor of a comfortable church and aimed the thrust of his ministry at the wretched poverty of London's East End. Thus was born the Salvation Army, and on Christmas Eve, the only present in the Booth household was delivered by Catherine, a baby daughter, Evangeline, destined to extend her father's ministry and spread the joy of Christmas around the world. It's 1880, just 15 years after the Salvation Army's birth. New York newspapers recorded the arrival of a young man in full military uniform, accompanied by what were described as 7 Hallelujah lassies. His name was George Scott Railton, and he claimed to have orders from General William Booth of the Salvation Army to begin the Army's work in the United States. Near the docks in Battery Park, Railton and the 7 lassies attracted considerable attention with their singing and their preaching. He claimed he was ordered to wage war against evil and despair, and then he marched all who would follow to Mrs. Doolittle's 5 Points mission. In just 3 years, the Army spanned the continent with the simplicity of its spiritual and social message of hope and change. In 1890, Catherine lay near death, but urged her husband to do something about the awful scourge of child prostitution. Booth attacked the problem head-on, in the courts and in Parliament, with demonstrations of civil disobedience that resulted in the arrest of his oldest son, Bramwell. His pleadings before the courts of justice and humanity had a powerful effect in reducing child prostitution. Not finished, his next target was what he saw as the ugly, selfish use of young children as common laborers, which permanently condemned them to a life of poverty. Eva spends it all, the New York headlines trumpet in April of 1906. The infant Christmas present to Catherine and William Booth is now the national commander of the Salvation Army in America. San Francisco has just experienced a deadly earthquake and fire which ravaged the entire city with death and destruction everywhere. The commander, as she liked to be called, took more than $4 million, the Army's entire available resource for 1906, to the devastated city and spent it in relief of human suffering and pain. When challenged by the press, all she replied was, "God will provide." The record reveals he did. In 1912, as William Booth passed into glory, the world stood poised on the brink of war. World War I began in 1914, and by 1917 the United States was part of it. Eva, ever the national commander, won General John J. Pershing's approval and sent young men and women with the troops into the lines, bringing food and care and a touch of home. The donut girls of World War I seem elevated in myth, but history proves the reality of their courage. Story after story from every regiment and division, from every branch of service, revealed the compassion and selfless dedication of a different kind of army, a Salvation Army. Buddies, they were called, angels of the battlefield, bringing comfort and peace in the midst of war. The historic and memorable relationship of the Salvation Army with America's fighting men and women has continued through every armed conflict this nation has fought, always going over the top. And what of the Salvation Army today? That same sense of compassion, that same selfless dedication and devotion to people in need are the hallmarks of their creed. The Salvation Army stands for hope, its founder William Booth said. When every other light is extinguished and every other star has gone down, this one beacon shines steadily and clearly from the darkened sky, he said. If I could only get to the Salvation Army, they will do something for me. Throughout the entire world, from the killing fields of Rwanda to the snow-covered villages of genocide-ravaged Bosnia, this Army's mission is summarized in a single word: others. That's their motto, their mission, and their commitment. Wherever human or natural disaster strikes, the Salvation Army still wages war. Its troops still go over the top for the hearts of men and women as they confront despair and disillusionment, as they attack alcoholism and addiction, and wage war against poverty and evil. It's a unique group of people in those uniforms whose good deeds have been prevalent throughout its history.
Oh, come, let us
Pastor.
Thank you, sir. Very good. Appreciate
I
it.
think that's important that people know the history of anything, really, and in particular, how important this organization is. I bet a lot of folks don't know those facts that Walter Cronkite pointed out. I certainly didn't know that.
Well, I thank you for pointing that out, and I'm looking forward to us moving this process forward because our goal is to continue to reach those who are lost and who need help.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got about 8 more minutes before we wrap up here, Pastor. So I want to give you an opportunity to kind of recap everything that we talked about so far and why we're here, the purpose, and what your purpose is to help people. That is one of the most important themes of the day. Okay,
That's right.
Is to, if you need help, to help others, and that word, others, that he uttered in that telegram. I mean that telething. It's amazing, isn't it?
Amen. Well, brother, I want to thank you so much for doing this today. And as we move forward, I'm looking forward to us having a great thing with this town hall meeting because at the end of the day, it's not what we say that we are that counts, it's what we do. And sometimes we say that we are the arms and legs of Christ, that we are the body of Christ Jesus. But it's when we do the thing that represents him. And we think about how he stopped and he gave sight to blind Bartimaeus and he healed Jairus' daughter. And he went about doing as much good as humanity would need. He met the woman at the well and he met the woman with the issue of blood. He met the fishermen and taught them to fish and then taught them to feed his sheep with the fish that they caught. As I have gotten closer to the Salvation Army, I begin to see more and more that we talk about it more than we do it. And I find myself immersed in this compassionate role to touch lives on a meaningful way each and every day. And to find someone who's at a point where you might meet a young man whose wife has decided to divorce him and leave him and left him with the children. He's a single father. And that we be able to give them the support, the encouragement, the word of God, to walk with them in the midst of their crisis and show them that there are people here who love and care for you, or the men who get out of jail and they are looking for clothes and shoes and they find work. And when they find work, they need work boots to go to work, that we be able to put some shoes on their feet. It takes me to the Revelations 2, where Jesus has this conversation with the 7 churches at Laodicea, and he told them all that he had a problem with them, and the problem was they strayed from their first love. And they asked him, "What is it?" And he said, "Well, when I was hungry, you fed me not. When I was thirsty, you did not give me to drink. He said, when I didn't have shelter, you gave me no shelter. I was in jail and you didn't come see me." And they said, "Tell us where we have done these things to you." And he said, that you've done to the least of these, you've done it to me also. So we have to ask ourselves the question, are we ready to be what Christ has called us to be? Are we ready to step into this place that somebody knows love because you are present? Or do they get the same kind of wretched condemnation come from saying, I have made it and you figured yours out? And so I want to encourage each and every one that's listening. Who can we bless today? That should be our goal each and every day that we wake up, is to find a way to be a blessing to someone. God bless you and keep you is my prayer. And for those who are listening, we thank God for you. Volunteer, become a part, show somebody how to use SA Help. Tell somebody about Pathway to Hope, and let's see if we can't make a difference in the Panhandle of Florida.
Absolutely, we can make a difference,
All right, brother.
Pastor Farrell. absolutely, we can definitely make a difference here, and we will make a difference. And WBQP TV is committed to helping you make that difference in Northwest Florida. Okay, so
All right.
folks, I invite you to, if you need help, flash it on the screen. If you need help, go to that website, sahelp.me, and scan that QR code that's on the screen, sign up, and get help. If you need to email Pastor Farrell, please don't hesitate to email him at Farrell W9, that's FARROWW9 at gmail.com. If you need to text him at 850-969-3706, and you will find your pathway to help and to pathway to hope as well. So don't forget, next month, we'll be back next month. Okay. And we're going to be having this show every Tuesday. Second Tuesday. Let me get it right. It's second Tuesday of the month. Pathway for Hope with Pastor Willie Farrell. If you want to join us on Zoom, you're more than welcome to join us on Zoom. We will have a cadre of people that will be joining us on Zoom, and we're going to have a conversation about Pathway for Hope on this virtual Zoom town hall meeting. So, Pastor, I tell you, if we're just winding down, is there anything else that you want to share before we go?
I think you've done an enormous job. I appreciate it. And we are looking forward to going forward, and we're looking for anybody who wants to go with us.
Okay. Well, we're there. All right, folks. I think that is going to conclude our program for today. So don't forget, Pathway to Hope, the Panhandle Virtual Town Hall, Pathway to Hope, every Tuesday, second Tuesday, correct me right, every second Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, so you can find our Pathway to Hope, and it's going to be hosted by Pastor Willie Farrell here. So, folks, I think that's going to conclude the program for today, and we'll see you next month. And don't forget, do not forget, if you need help, go ahead and do what you need to do and contact those numbers that we just gave you. And if you need help with your light bill or anything. So that's the purpose of the program. Pastor, again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having the vision to have this program that you can help folks here on the Panhandle. Okay? All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Second Tuesday. I get it. I'm going to get it right, Pastor. I'm going to get it right.
You got it.
Next second Tuesday. All right. I'll have a great day.
God bless you, brother.
All right. Thank you.